Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. So in the interest of time is our lesson today. We're going to be looking at solving for time in our compound interest formulas. So just as a reminder, this is our simple interest formula here, and this is the compound interest formula. We're not going to worry about this today. We're only going to be using compound interest. So P times 1 plus R to the T. So for example here, we're going to be looking at, maybe I put $17 into a bank account that earns 2% interest compounded annually. And what we're going to solve for today is how long will it take for my $17 to turn into my final amount or my total amount, so that I can buy a really cool portable pizza oven. Now, we're always going to be using this formula this week. We're only going to use this P times 1 plus R to the T. And earlier this year, we've been solving for, my total amount or even my initial amount. But now we're going to solve for time. And the way that we're going to do that is we want to isolate the exponent. We want to get that 1 plus R to the T by itself, so that we can write this in logarithmic form. Now, I've left you a link here that you can use, and I would definitely suggest using that link. You can type in, log base something of something else, and it will give you a really nice decimal very quickly, much quicker than you could do it on a calculator. So this is a compound interest formula problem, as all of them are, and we're going to set up, this is my total amount. It's my first number. We saw that was 250 up here. And that's going to equal my principal, my initial amount of $17, times 1 plus the rate to the T. So the first thing you're going to do every time is set up your equation. And after you set up that equation, then what we're going to do is we will always divide by the principal first. So divide by the principal first, and then simplify this parentheses. So I divided 250 by 17 to get 14.706. I simplified my parentheses to get 1.02. And then we're going to write this as a log. So what's the base of my exponent here? Well, the base of my exponent is 1.02. So the base of my log should be 1.02. So log base 1.02 of 14.706 equals T. And we can just type that right into Wolfram Alpha, and it'll give us a nice number. So we've got 3 problems here. I'm going to show us the first one. We'll do that together, and then I'll have you guys try the last 2 on your own before you do your Google Forms quiz for the day. So I invest $200 in a bank account. So this is my initial or principal amount. That gains 5% interest is my rate, compounded annually. And how long will it take for my investment to turn into $500 so I can buy an even better portable pizza oven? Okay, so that's what I want. That's my total amount. So I'm going to say 500 equals, what's my principal again? 200 times 1 plus the rate of 5% to the T. Okay. And what we're going to do here is our first step. We'll always divide that principal off because this is what we're trying to solve for. So 500 divided by 200 is going to be my first step. And of course it simplifies on that right side. 200s cancel out. I'm left with 2.5 equals 1.05 to the t. I simplified that, parentheses. Okay. And now I want to write this. So first step, divide by your principal. Second step, we're going to write that as a logarithm. So log, what's the base of my exponent? Well, the base of the exponent is 1.05. So the base of my log will be 1.05. And 2.5 is going to go in the log. So log base 1.05 of 2.5 equals t. And then if I go to Wolfram Alpha, and I type in the sentence log base 1.05 of 2.5, and that's just in words, and then I hit enter or equals, depending on, if you're doing this on your phone or computer, then t will be 18.78 years. Alright, now I'd like you guys to pause the video, try these last two. And we'll check here in a second what those are going to be. So again, we're going to write our total amount is what I want. So we're going to say 5,000 equals my initial times the 1 plus 0.03 to the t. So first step, always divide by your principal. And what we would end up with here is log base 1.03 of 5. So 5 equals 1.03 to the t. So log base 1.03 of 5 equals t, which is 54.45. And our last one here, I'm taking out an initial amount of 100,000, so that's my principal. 3% interest, so 1.03 to t, and what's my final amount? $1 million. So $1 million. And our first step, as always, we're going to divide by that principal. So we'll say 1 million divided by 100,000. Okay, 10 equals 1.03 to the t. So now we need to write this as a logarithm to get that t out of the exponent. So what's the base of my exponent? Well, that's 1.03. So the base of my log should be 1.03 of 10 equals t. So t should be 77.9 years.